All right. Oh, yay, Young.
Hello.
Let's see. Well, in my camera, oh, I know. It's like, why isn't it starting?
There you are.
Hello, I'm in a new place, a new location. It's a little bit crazy here because I had the guys in the water mitigation team essentially and they left just on time, but all my normal places of setting up are indisposed with fans or rain or so it's good. We can take yoga anywhere with us. So that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. How are you,
Absolutely.
how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I actually was just talking about you. I went live in Renee's group. She had a little dare, which I didn't find out about today.
Oh,
So she was daring us to go in there and tell everyone one word to describe us. And so I said, I have to run. I'm off to yoga, so go check it out. Yeah.
thank you. Oh, cool. I got to go back and watch your live. That would be awesome to see. I've
I
been
got to
talking
use
to
a
you.
fun filter, which I never use filters, and they are really a lot of fun. It's
Oh,
like this double, like alter ego. You can become anything with a filter.
that's so cool. Did you do the mystery mask one?
I didn't. I used one. My word was free spirited.
Oh,
So I had some flowers and like some dreamy background. It was very cool.
I love it. I've got to try that. I tried one filter and it was so silly. Like
There are some really funny ones on there.
yeah. It just, yeah. So sometimes I hesitate to do that. I'm like, oh, I'm going to mess it up. I have to get more free spirited. I love that because I do, whenever I picture you, especially the beautiful shots you have in your home as you practice, I always get that sensation of an eagle, you know, just
Oh,
you have that great eagle energy of soaring, like the ability to soar above it all, right? Not to let it get to you, but that eagle eye of seeing exactly what's going on. You're not tuning out. You're just able to soar above it. And if you see something that needs attention and detail, boom, you're there super lightning fast. You
oh.
attend to the detail and then right back up soaring. Yeah, it's a great eagle energy with you. I don't know.
What a wonderful compliment. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm just so happy you joined me here. Oh, so we will definitely have fun today. Yay, and Kim made it.
Yes.
Fantastic. And you'll see I've got puppies here and who knows, fans going. Hopefully it's not too loud. I was joking with the guys who are here because I said, now I'm going to be in the ET house. Do you ever see ET with Drew Barrymore? And they like tent the house. So they're like, we have to seal off the contaminated area. I was like, wait, what?
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, what does that mean? Like, are you going to put up a barrier? And so this is on like my main floor here, not the basement, but the half bath that overflowed. And they're like, we have to like seal off the outside area. And we're going to put up a barrier, basically, like a plastic sheet. And I said, oh, so I won't be able to get to my bedroom? They're like, it'll have a zipper. It's not like, like ET. So anyway, it will be an adventure. But in the meantime, we will play our yoga. Yay! So jumping into the practice today. Today is a big week for thoughts. Oh my goodness. And blessings in disguise, whether it's tempting your home like ET or it's other misadventures that might come your way. Really, it's a flipping of the perspective to find the blessing in disguise. So in our practice, we're going to do a little bit of flipping our perspective physically. Downward dog, of course, is a wonderful example of being upside down without it being too crazy. But we'll move from there and just be a little bit playful while we also throw in some twist to help us with the path of letting go of the unhelpful thoughts. Because when I say this is a potent week, basically the way the stars are aligning in the heavens above, it hasn't been this way since 1935, when we came out of the Great Depression, and when people were getting all of these wonderful, radical new ideas, this creativity, Rosie the Riveter, kind of coming up, and this empowerment of, I have a dream, I'm going to share the dream, and I have universal support behind it in order for it to come to be, rather than feeling like we're always coming against a brick wall and getting knocked down. So pay attention. We're at the end of the new moon window, so it's a time for planting seeds. And what that means is if you have a dream or a project that you really hope to see blossom, especially in the next 7 years' time, because you're planting for 7 years right now, think about it. Maybe ask yourself questions. Maybe you don't know exactly what it is yet, but you know the feeling. Like you might know what you want to feel like in 7 years, or feel like in the space in between, right? Or maybe, there's a place I want to visit, or there's a mountain I want to climb, or a yoga pose I want to do, or business I want to create. Just kind of play with those ideas, and it's like weeding out in the garden. The poses we do today will flip your perspective, help you weed out the unhelpful thoughts that would choke your dreams, and just give you the ability to nurture your dreams, nurture those seeds. So we'll check back in 7 years. I'm so excited to see what you're going to create. So with that, let's close our eyes and we'll welcome in a few deep breaths. You welcome in deep breaths. Hopefully it's not a puppy who rolled around in something stinky in the garden. And just feel the thighs settle into the floor and the sit bones as they connect. Imagine beautiful roots growing from sit bones all the way down to the earth center, connecting you. And then bring the hands together, Anjali Mudra. And I invite you to open with 3 ohms. If you'd like, you're more than welcome just to listen. Let's welcome our breath now. The end of the exhale, gently bow forehead to fingers and release the hands to the legs. Welcome. All right, so we'll come to all fours, table position, and I'm going to switch my camera, so hopefully you'll be able to see the bigger view, taller me. And as you're on all fours, we're going to go right into downward facing dog. So you have your arms strong and steady, soften between the shoulder blades, and lift up and back to downward dog. And as you come into downward dog, Kira makes this an interesting practice. Lift your right leg high to the sky, stretching from the heart all the way up through the foot. Good. Bend the right leg at the knee, opening up the hip. You can even gaze underneath that right arm if you'd like. Take one more breath there. I'm going to have you work. Beautiful. And then from here, you're going to switch sides. Lower right foot down. Lift left leg high to the sky. And as you lift that left leg, bend your left leg, opening up the hip. And gazing under the left arm. So nice side body stretch, thigh opener. Beautiful. And then exhale, foot comes down to the floor. Now on the next exhale, shift forward into plank pose. And from plank, lower through chaturanga to the belly. Inhale through cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Beautiful. So this time, walk your hands back 2 hand lengths towards your feet. So we have a slightly shorter dog. Our heels come down towards the mat. And as you press the mound of the index finger down and you lengthen from the heart to the hips, bring your weight a little bit more onto your left hand and foot. So your right hand becomes light enough that you can come to your fingertips maybe. And if you come up onto your right fingertips, you're going to take your right hand, lift it off the floor an inch, and then reach your right hand back to hold on to outer left thigh, calf, or ankle. And then you gently twist your right ribs to the left. And micro bend your left knee 1/2 inch so you have the ability to really twist to the left. Then slowly re-extend that left leg straight and steady. And exhale, unwind back to downward dog, the short dog. Bring your weight a little more onto the right hand and foot. Come up onto your left fingertips. And then as you're ready, lift the left hand and reach back to hold on to outer thigh, calf, or ankle. Micro bend your right knee a half an inch. Twist those left ribs a little more to the right. And then you slowly stretch, right leg straight once again. So leg presses back, hand draws forward. Exhale, hand comes to floor. And slowly walk your feet forward to the front of your space, forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms sweep out like wings all the way up. And hands to Anjali. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, extend the chest forward. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Now from plank, slowly lower through chaturanga to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. In downward dog, you're going to lift your right leg high to the sky. Once again, we're opening hips. Bend the right leg at the knee, looking under right arm. And this time, just circle your foot. So you're just making little circles with your right toes in one direction, giving the ankle some rotation. And then switch directions with the foot. And then plant the right foot back down onto the floor. Lift the left leg high to the sky. You bend the left leg at the knee. You look under that left arm and you rotate the foot, making little circles with the foot. Then switch the foot into the other direction. Back to downward facing dog. Now from downward dog, shift forward to plank. And from plank, lower all the way through to chaturanga. Now this round, interlace the fingers behind the back. Press the feet down, scoop the tailbone. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other, lifting chest and head. Beautiful. And on the exhale, downward dog. You might have an assistant helping you. Bostons have this way of loving to kiss you right on the mouth and preferably in the mouth. Okay, Kira. So from downward dog, slowly walk the feet forward, forward bend, Uttanasana. And then on the inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms sweep out like wings all the way up. And release. Round two, inhale, sweep up. It's really three. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back to downward dog. Now in this downward dog, we're going to go to a side plank. Pivot onto the pinky toe side of your right foot and hand. And for now, pivot onto the inner edge of your left foot. So your toes are just right toes to left heel kind of thing. And left arm reaches up to the sky. So from behind, if you're wondering what the feet looked like, we're just basically turning the toes to the left. Beautiful. You're hugging the outer hips in and you're lifting that right hip towards the sky. And then we come back through downward dog. Pivot onto the pinky toe side of the left foot. Toes point to the right. And right arm extends up. You're squeezing the inner thighs together. The mound of the left index finger presses down. You're lifting the hips. So many different variations. Exhale, unwind, back to downward dog. From downward dog, slowly shift forward to plank. And from plank all the way down to the belly. Now as you come down to your belly, you're going to come up onto your forearms and bring your right forearm parallel to the top of your space and bathing beauty, Roll all the way onto the outer right hip. That left leg is bent just to stabilize you. And extend your left arm. You're ready for your close-up, Mr. DeMille. The right forearm presses down as you lift through the chest. And you extend out from heart to fingers. On the exhale, unwind. You bring left arm in front. Roll onto the outer left hip. That right leg is slightly bent. And you reach the right arm out. Great way to open the chest, the upper arm, the throat. Ability to really get into the spot where we open our heart and we have the option to vocalize our dream. Exhale, unwind back to the belly. Hands next to the chest, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, downward dog. Now from downward dog, walk your hands back towards your feet at the back of your space. And as you're here in the back of your space, bend both knees 2 inches. You're gonna lift and spread your toes so the outer shins hug in. It's a safe container for you to really maintain your energy. Keep your knees bent and bring the right hand directly beneath your chest and left hand to hip. So what you're doing essentially is you're getting ready for a twist. Your fingers, right fingers, stay in contact with the floor as you lift your chest. Slowly stretch your left leg straighter and twist to the left. So right ribs turn towards that left thigh as you draw head of the left shoulder back. And you bend your right knee as much as you need to help create right fingers rooting, left leg lengthening. Exhale, unwind, come back through center. Left hand beneath chest and the toes can relax as right hand comes to hip, but you're still hugging shins in. Very slowly twist left ribs to the right and start to stretch the right leg straighter and straighter as you go, drawing head of the right shoulder back. And again, finding the balance between bending left knee a little or a lot. Exhale, unwind, hands come back to the floor. Press both fingers into the floor and stretch your legs as long and steady as they're willing. And then on the next inhale, you're going to slowly walk your hands forward to plank pose. And from plank pose, we're going to go into side plank once again, but this time we'll stack the feet. So pivoting onto the pinky toe side of the right foot, and do make sure your right hand is about a hand's length in front of your shoulder rather than shoulder over wrist. That might not feel good. So you bring your shoulder back just a little bit so you have 90-degree angle to arm and torso. Stack the feet this time. Inner edge of right foot and left foot meet, and left arm reaches to the sky. You squeeze the thighs, you reach out through the mound of the big toe, one breath. And on the exhale, back to downward dog. Nice. Pivot onto the pinky toe side of the left foot. You're bringing that 90-degree angle to left arm and torso as you reach right arm to the sky. Your finger pads press into the floor, the mound of the left index finger roots. Left shoulder blade draws down the back. One last breath. This is great for our obliques and our core. Exhale, unwind back to downward dog. Breathe. From downward dog, you're going to slowly shift forward into plank. And from plank, lower all the way through to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Chest sweeps forward and up. Beautiful. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips lift up and back. Now from this position, walk your hands back towards your feet at the back of your space, giving hip flexors a little break. Now this one will be interesting. We're going to keep our feet hip distance wide. It's one you've done before. It's just a different entry point, so it's flipping our perspective. You're going to start by bringing your hands to your hips and drawing your shoulder blades towards each other. Then keep the shoulder blades engaged and interlace your fingers behind the back. So you're just clasping your hands, basically. Beautiful. Stay long from hips to underarms. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other again, and then stretch the arms straight. From the shoulders out to the knuckles, you're reaching. Beautiful. The arms now come over your head towards the floor, and you find the balanced action between shoulder blades drawing up towards the ceiling, head heavy and neck long. So just a different way to get into the pose. It enables us to exercise our ability to see things from a different viewpoint. On the exhale, bend the arms at the elbows, bring the hands to the lower back, release the clasp and slide the hands back to the floor. Forward bend. Beautiful. On the next inhale, walk your hands forward into plank pose. From plank pose, we go back to our side plank. Stacking the feet, pivot onto the pinky toe side of your right foot, stack left foot on top, and then left arm to sky. Now for this round, you have the option of hugging your inner thighs towards each other, spreading your left toes, and lifting your left foot a couple inches away from the right, like a starfish. Aha, keep going, one last breath. Nice, and then back to table, or to plank. We'll switch sides. Pivot onto the pinky toe side of the left foot, stack the feet initially, right arm reaches to the sky, gorgeous work. You're drawing your belly in and you lift the right foot up off of the left, toes spreading, transverse tummy muscles working, which means side of the waistline back. Gorgeous. Right foot to left, right hand to floor, downward dog. Breathe. On the exhale, come forward to plank pose. From plank, lower all the way through chaturanga to the belly. As you come down to your belly, bend both legs behind you and keep your hands next to your chest, next to the rib cage. It's a hybrid of cobra and bow. It's actually a version of Kapotasana, the full pigeon. With your feet flexed, press your knees into the floor so your bottom lifts a little bit and your lower back has an exaggerated arch. What we're doing is we're making space. Because sometimes in order to get a different perspective, to weed the garden, we got to take a big step back and see the forest for the trees. So we're making space. Into that space, lengthen your tailbone so the hips lower back to the floor, more to a neutral arch. And then inhale, lengthen from hips to underarms. And we do cobra with the upper body. You draw shoulder blades towards each other down the back and you press up. The knees are pressing down, the feet are flexing. Unless you wanted to do the full pigeon where you point your toes and you bring your head to your feet. My daughter will have to demonstrate that one. I like that, Kim. Ponytail, my ponytail is yours. Exhale, release the chest, release the legs. Downward dog, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back. From downward dog, walk your hands back towards your feet at the back of the sticky mat. Now keep your legs strong and steady. So legs govern the experience of the back. We root through the four corners of the feet. You draw the thigh muscles firmly towards the hips and hold opposite elbows here. Right hand to left and left to right. The head heavy. The shoulder blades, they draw towards each other. So an active opening for the hamstrings because we're really working leg muscles. And just breathe. One more breath. And then exhale, hands to the floor. And we finally got to our final part of the series. We're gonna flip our dog. Flip the dog is different than flipping the bird. It's all good. Lexi just learned that term. Now she's going all around. They flipped the bird. Oh gosh, Lexi. Okay, come to plank pose. So you're gonna walk your hands forward, coming to plank. Now, from this plank position, we're gonna make it nice and friendly, kind of like a walking experience. You're gonna first lift your hips now up and back to downward dog. Plank was just a way for us to get a nice distance between hands and feet. From here, you're gonna turn your feet a little to the left. Then lift your left foot behind your right and just start to walk your feet almost in a circle to the left until your toes face the back of your mat. And then the left hand picks up off the floor and you extend the left arm out to the side. So it's this position where it's a hybrid, not quite gorgeous. That's the idea, Young. It's a little crazy. And on the exhale, there you go. Sometimes taking it slower, all those steps makes it trickier. Exhale, unwind back to downward dog. The other way that we've done it before, which actually I find can be easier for many of us who are more used to the scarier nature of this, is you lift your right leg high to the sky, bend the right leg at the knee, pivot on the ball of the bottom foot. Yeah, there you go, Young, gorgeous. Dropping the foot, scoop the tailbone, and reach the arms. The stepping part is actually down, slowing it down for those who are familiar makes it harder. Gorgeous, Kim. Exhale, unwind. It's kind of like when you're doing the same recipe. You can come downward dog. Same recipe forever, and somebody's like, how much do you use? How much salt? I don't know, a pinch. Throw some in. And from here, shift. Actually, walk the feet forward. Forward bend in front of the mat. Enough with those vinyasas. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, arms sweep out like wings all the way up. Pause here for a moment with the arms reaching overhead because we've been upside down for quite some time. And then release the arms. Just a way to regulate the blood pressure. All right. So from here, take a wide stance. And as you take a wide stance, arms extend to a T. Turn your left leg in, right leg open. You're gonna go into good old warrior two. You track right knee over the ankle. And you gaze out over the right fingertips. Just looking for the basic shape of it right now. You know, right hip draws back, right kneecap points towards toes. Inhale, push through the feet to come up. Turn right leg in, left leg open. Track left knee over the ankle. So warrior two legs, very similar to side angle. It's almost an imperceptible difference. And just different experience with the torso. Inhale, push through the feet to come up. Arms relax. Turn left leg in, right leg open. We'll go to side angle, so arms extend. Track right knee over the ankle, right forearm to thigh, left arm alongside the ear. So the legs remain constant. And that's kind of a fun thing to notice about certain yoga poses. They're like series where the foundation remains the same and just another aspect changes. There's that continual thread of familiarity. Makes it really calming, even though the waters are churning on the surface. Push down through the feet to come all the way up. Turn right leg in, left leg open. Side angle. Forearm to thigh, left arm alongside ear. So how might that translate off the sticky mat? Well, when we're weeding our garden and we're letting go of some of these thoughts like, no one wants to hear your story, you know, oh, you're not good enough, you don't have the background or the education, or, oh, you've only been doing it for this long. Those stories that play, those are weeds. That's what my teacher calls the angry dog barking in the bad neighborhood. We want to get out of there. Inhale, push through the feet to come up. And we change it again just a little bit. Turn the left leg in, right leg open. Start by bending knee over ankle and forearm on thigh. Now the change this time is you keep hugging your thighs towards each other so tummy's strong, and slide right hand down to the inside edge of your foot. Press arm and leg against each other as you scoop your tailbone, spin the chest open, and left arm reaches up. So the familiarity is the trust. What do we anchor ourselves in, right? That hope, that belief, that yes, you know what? Deep down inside, we know those voices that are churning through our mind and heart. It's just the angry dog barking. They don't hold value or weight. Inhale, push through the feet to come all the way up. Turn right leg in, left leg open. Track knee over ankle. Start with forearm on thigh. Left hand comes to the floor. And then scooping that left sit bone beneath you, you spin the chest to the sky and you reach the right arm high and you engage the belly. Beautiful, the fire, the passion, that inner knowing that angry dog barking is just something hiding, wanting you to hide your light. No more. Inhale, push through the feet, come all the way up. And I know I froze. I'm going to unfreeze myself in a second. Go ahead and turn your feet towards each other. You're going to step or jump the feet hip distance. So coming to mountain. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. And on the exhale, fold forward, fingers to the floor. Forward bend. And in the forward bend, you're going to take one more deep breath. Just allowing yourself to feel the difference in the hips. So interesting. I love how I was talking about things blocking us, right? Nice try. Got multiple cameras I can use. The battery must have died on the other guy, and the other battery is missing. So from here, bring hands to the hips, shoulder blades onto the back, lift the sides of the neck, and come all the way up. Beautiful. We're going to add on, take a wide stance, taking the familiar and changing it just enough so we have a different experience. You turn left leg in, right leg open. Start with the arms in the T. First with warrior two, track right knee over the ankle. The familiar, right? We've been here before. I've had asparagus. I know I don't like it. Turn the right palm to the sky, lean back, left hand to thigh or shin. What about roasted asparagus? Oh, well, this is quite lovely. Although maybe not. Maybe you don't like this version. On the exhale, bring your right hand down to the inner edge of the right foot, left arm to the sky. The legs still constant as you draw your belly in and up, spinning chest towards heaven. Inhale, push through the feet, coming through warrior two. Stretch right leg straight. Turn right leg in and left leg open. Next side, left knee over ankle, warrior two. What are you a warrior, champion for? Then left forearm to thigh, right arm alongside the ear. Ooh, I skipped one, didn't I? That's okay, we'll come back to it. Inhale, lean back. Your reclining warrior. It just came to me. My brain was split thinking of the camera. Where's that battery? I don't need to know. And now left hand down to the inside edge of the floor or foot. And you push the fingers down, you draw the belly and you extend up. Yoga won't let you do more than one thing at once, especially certain poses. You're lucky if you remember to breathe originally or initially. Inhale, push through the feet, come all the way up. Stretch both legs straight, feet parallel. Now this time we'll keep the feet wide and interlace the fingers behind the back. Lengthen from the hips to the underarms. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other. And on the exhale, forward bend. Arms coming overhead. The head is heavy, relaxing towards the floor. Keep going. Shoulder blades, they draw towards one another. Engage your lower belly to keep you strong and steady. And with the next inhale, push through the feet, lift the sides of the neck, head of the shoulders to come up. Fingertips meet. Step or jump the feet back to hip distance. Beautiful. And we change the nature of the experience once again. Widen the feet. Arms to the T. We start by reaching the arms overhead alongside the ears. Now, different experience for the hips. Turn your left leg in strongly. So your left foot's turning in more to a 45-degree angle. Turn your right foot open so toes point to the top of your space. We're going to do warrior one. Track right knee over the ankle and don't worry about hips being square or anything like that. Kind of just marking the experience in this moment. On the next inhale, push through the right foot, stretch the legs straight, relax the arms. And kind of like an eagle, like a bird, we're gonna bend the leg and lift the arms for 2 more rounds. So on the exhale, bend right knee over ankle, sweep the arms up. On the exhale, push the right foot down, release the arms as you straighten leg. Last time, bend your right leg, sweep the arms up, inhaling. Your exhale, arms down, legs straight. Now, interlace your fingers behind your back. Track your right knee over your ankle. Now you have options. Option 1 is to lift the chest to the sky, draw the shoulders back, and reach the knuckles towards the floor behind you. Option number 2, you move your inner thighs back, like you stick your butt out, and you lower your right ear towards your right inner ankle as you bring your arms overhead. When you find your depths, tack your outer right hip back, toning the lower belly. 1 deep breath. Good. Inhale, push through that right foot, lift the torso, sweep the arms up, warrior 1. Stretch the right leg straight, gorgeous. Arms release, turn right leg in, left leg, well, let's turn right leg in strongly, turn left leg open, arms extend up, and on the exhale, knee over ankle. Good, and push the left leg straight. And we're going to go 2 more times, but this time, exhale, knee bends, arms are up. And on the inhale, we stretch the arms. You guys know where to go. Bend the front knee, arms go up. Exhale, legs straight, arms down. This time, we're going to hold for a second. Track your front knee over your ankle. Sweep the arms alongside the ears. Just 1 big stretch. Now keep the legs as they are. Interlace your fingers behind your back. See if you can put the other index finger on top. It'll be the unfamiliar way. Lengthen from hips to underarms, shoulders draw back. You can stay here, or you essentially stick your butt out. You move your inner thighs back to help you get your left ear towards the inner left ankle. Then tack your outer left hip back. You tone your lower belly. You gotta have that belly working for you to help open the hips safely. 1 last deep breath. And then inhale, push through that left foot. Lift the chest, sweep hard and arms up. Stretch the left leg straight. Make the feet parallel here in this wide stance. And step or jump, feet together. Hello, hips. We'll turn towards the front of our space. Inhale, sweep up. We'll go through a little sun salute. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lengthen the chest. Exhale, step back, plank pose. From plank, slowly lower to the belly. Now, as you lower to your belly, for a moment, take your hands and stack them one on top of the other, right in front of you, and rest your forehead on your hands. Breathe. Breathing into the back of your waistline, into the belly. Just relaxing hips, hip flexors, lower belly. So taking the familiar, changing it a little bit to have a completely different experience. And yoga off the mat. You never know what'll happen. So that's why having that familiarity, which yoga off the mat, what's one thing that could be the familiar thread or the common thread to bring you back to center, back to peace? The breath. Are you breathing? Do you find yourself in a situation where you're holding your breath? The breath is ragged. And you see if you can extend the exhalation just a little longer than the inhale. That'll lower the blood pressure, calm the nervous system. So on the next inhalation, come up onto the forearms. And as you come onto the forearms, we go for our thigh stretch. And we're going to take this slowly. So you give me feedback, Yang, how it feels to your knees. You're going to bring your right forearm parallel to the top of the mat, bend the left leg, and left hand reaches for outer edge of the foot. And Yang, in my mind, I think I remember sending you that yoga class we did on the knees, but did I? You can shake your, I did, okay, phew, all right. I don't do it too, sometimes I do these things in my head and I realize I didn't actually. Excellent. So one more deep breath, toes spreading. And on the exhale, release the foot. Left arm in front, right leg bends. Right hand reaches for the foot. So what came up in conversation last week for Young and I was how sometimes like the kneecap area can feel uncomfortable in this pose. Inner knee and outer knee can at times too, but depending on what part of the knee is talking, different things could be happening. So the most important thing you want to remember here is thighs are hip distance wide from the hip to the knee, pointing directly back like it makes an 11. You're spreading your toes and your foot, hopefully from the center of the heel to second toe, is pointing right up to the sky. It's not turning to the left. Exhale, release. You're going to plant the hands next to the chest and slowly press back, child's pose. Big toes together. And as the hips come towards the heels, I'm going to invite you, if you have a sticky mat, to hold on to the outer edges of your mat. So your fingers wrap underneath your thumbs, like you're hitchhiking, come on top, and then you bring your thumbs to the mat. Pull your mat forward, away from you as you lower your forehead towards the floor. And tone your lower belly. And it's just a nice little way to create resistance and space for side bodies, for back, a little bit more room between your belly and your thighs. Just one last breath. On the next inhale, come all the way up to table. Now from table position, arms strong, soften between shoulder blades, lift the hips up and back, downward dog. From downward dog, we're gonna get ready for a low lunge. So lift your right leg up and with a big kick, swing right foot between the hands, lower left knee to the floor and bring the hands up to the right thigh. For this twist, right hand presses down on that thigh, left arm reaches up towards the heavens. And on the exhale, you twist elbow across leg, stack the hands. And for this version, interlace your fingers so that you can press the top of your palms together just a little bit more. You're pressing arm and leg against each other. One last breath. And on that last breath, if you're feeling a little saucy, imagine a string on the left inner thigh that lifts it up towards the sky so the knee magically floats up away from the mat and you lengthen from the left hip back through the arch. Gorgeous. Exhale, look at the floor, lower the knee, unwind the chest, hands down, step back, downward dog. And we switch, lift the left leg high to the sky, and big kick, swing the foot forward between the hands. Lower the right knee and hands come up to the thigh. Left hand presses down, right arm reaches to the heavens. And on the exhalation, twist. Elbow across thigh, and the hands, they stack. And interlace the fingers as you're ready, pressing through the top of the palms. And on the last two deep breaths, imagine that string on the right inner thigh. It lifts the inner thigh up, and the knee magically floats to the sky. Your gaze is on something steady, either on your left wall or sky. Exhale, unwind. Knee to floor, hands to ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Getting ready for pigeon. Inhale, lift the right leg up. And big kick, swing right knee forward and wide. Now we stay upright initially, the knees pressing down, isometrically drawing towards each other. So we've got that tone. We're never relaxed here, we're engaged. Left hand in front of you, bend the left leg. Look over. You can wave your foot at you, and maybe right hand finds foot. So right hand to left foot. You press foot into hand. And this might be enough of a thigh and a shoulder stretch. If you're looking for a little bit more, you can roll towards the outer left knee slightly. It's not much, but instead of being on the center of the thigh, you just kind of lean towards the outer left part of thigh and knee and bring the foot in a little bit closer. Foot pressing into hand, and whatever crazy hand hold you feel called to. Exhale, release the foot, toes spreading. Plant the hands, lift up and back, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Big kick swing, left thigh forward and wide. And you hug your legs towards each other. And then slowly bend your right leg. Look over left shoulder. Maybe you see the foot. If you see the foot, there's a good chance you'll be able to grab it. If you don't see it, then that's okay. You can just leave it on the floor. Foot presses into hand as you draw the heel in. You can even experiment with a little bit of rolling towards the outer right leg. And just taking this one nice and slowly, because it's different, right? We're usually reaching back with same arm, same leg. Exhale, release the foot slowly, toes spread. And from here, before I get you to lift to downward dog, we're gonna do what I was taught to be called Bridget's cross. I think it's called something else by other people. But from here, what you'll do in a second is I'm gonna have you take your right leg and you're going to draw knee towards nose and then shoot that leg off to the side. And this is the one where you lower, like it's a revolved triangle almost on its side. So the back leg, the key here with the back leg is if your hip is willing, you can keep your toes curled under as you maybe lower the chest closer to the floor. If your hip is not willing, you turn the foot. So knee and toes point in the same direction as your top leg. Okay? I'll talk you through it. Here it goes. So slowly step back, downward facing dog. It's a nice one for IT band, big twist. You're gonna lift your right leg high and then shift your shoulders over your wrist, drawing right knee towards nose, tummy toned. Then extend your right foot out to the left. And come on to the pinky toe side of the foot. And you gotta wiggle that wiggle first right foot to the left and then left foot back a little. Takes a little bit of maneuvering, maybe changing the hands. And then from here, as you wrap your left ribs towards the floor, you can experiment bending the arms, maybe even lowering the forearms down to the floor and checking in with that back leg. If your knee's not happy, turn the left leg out. So left knee and toe are pointing to the left. I'm going to take 2 more deep breaths as hands or forearms press into the floor to give you a slight lift, enabling a deeper twist. And then on the inhale, you're going to lift the torso, walk your hands back, bend your right leg, and you're going to slowly unwind. You can come through table if you'd like, and then up and back, downward dog. Feeling the difference. We switch. Lift the left leg high to the sky. Shift the shoulders over the wrist, drawing left knee to nose, and then shoot that left foot out to the side, to the right. Slide that left foot out as you lower the hip in the direction of the floor. Right toes curled under if that's breathable. And just making the adjustments you need. Widening the hands maybe a little bit wider than shoulders. As the chest comes lower to the floor, maybe you bring elbows down and you come onto the forearms. You're going to take just 2 more breaths. All toes spreading. Knowing for less intensity, you can always bend your left leg, or more intensity, left leg straight and in line with hip. On the inhale, you're going to lift your torso. You walk your hands back, bend your left leg. Making your way to downward dog. You can come through a table again if that's friendlier. Deep breath. One more variation on our lunge here. Lift the right leg high to the sky, and with a big kick, swing the foot between the hands. High lunge to start. Now, from here in the high lunge, it's going to be like a modified version of the side plank and a big side body stretch. What that means is you're going to take your left hand and you bring it forward one hand length. So it's not right underneath your shoulder. It just comes forward slightly. Then your right foot, you're going to heel toe walk your right foot off to the right about 4 inches, and then slowly turn the right foot to the diagonal. Now it'll be easier once we get into the motion. You're going to slowly pivot onto the pinky toe side of the left foot, and you can walk your right foot back a little to be in line with right hip. From here, as you reach out through the inner edge of the left foot, you keep your left leg strong like you're standing on it, and you can lower outer left hip towards the floor. The right arm can reach up towards the sky. You can even twist the chest a little more to the sky and bring your right arm behind you. Big, big side body hip flexor. Gorgeous, you got it, Yang. Awesome, Kim. Exhale, unwind the arm. Use your tummy, hands push, foot pushes, press back, downward dog. The other leg. Left leg lifts high to the sky, and big kick, swing the foot forward between the hands. Breathe. High lunge. We know this. It's familiar. And then we say, okay, we got this. What's the next adventure? Widen your left foot 4 inches to the left to start. And make sure you bring your right hand forward just a hand length. That makes it easier in the twist. Now, from this position, turn your left foot out to about 45 degrees and start to pivot onto the pinky toe side of that right foot. Now, the left foot, you can always heel toe, walk it back to be more in line with your left hip as you reach the left arm to the sky. You're standing through your bottom leg, which means from the inner right thigh to mount a big toe, you reach, 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 and lengthen, and then maybe you lower your hips in the direction of the floor. Maybe you spin the chest a little more to the sky. Maybe left arm can even come behind you a little. Gorgeous, just all variations. Press through that left foot, right hand, unwind back to downward dog. And on the exhale, child's pose. Knees to the floor. If you're comfortable with knees close, go for that. And arms back towards the feet, palms to the sky. If that doesn't work, you can always widen your knees and bring your hands in front. And on the inhale, slowly lift the torso. We're going to come down to our back. So you come to your back, first come into an all-over body stretch, lengthening from the belly out through the fingers and the belly out through the ball of the foot. On the exhale, rather than hugging knees to chest, bend the legs so the feet are flat on the floor. And you're going to set up so the feet are hip distance wide, toes pointing forward. Arms alongside the body. We set up for our yoga bridge pose, our Setu Bandha. So on the inhale, shrug the shoulders towards the ears. Bend the arms so fingertips point to the sky. And then you keep looking up to the sky. Don't turn your head for this. If you need to see, just pause and watch and then go back and do. Press the elbows into the floor so your shoulder blades, they draw towards each other, chest lifts. Press the four corners of the feet into the floor and lift your hips high. And now slowly wiggle your shoulders underneath you. Stretch your arms straight and see if the fingers are willing to find each other and interlace. If not, you just hold the edges of your mat and you pull the mat forward towards the feet. Deep breath here, opening belly and chest. And the front part of the thighs, from hips to knees. On the exhale, start to lower the hips, unwinding hands, shoulders, and all the way down. Okay. So for those who have never done upward facing bow in yoga or with me, I'm going to have you do bridge again, just like we did a moment ago. For those who have done upward bow in their practice, I'm going to have you plant your hands next to your head so that your fingertips are pointing towards your shoulders and your elbows up towards the sky. Now, the most important aspect here is that you keep your shoulder blades engaging on the back, your armpits hollow. So as you press your feet down into the floor, isometrically drag the feet back. Draw now your shoulder blades towards each other, the underarms towards the earth so they hollow. On the inhale, lift your hips and maybe you stay here. Try to drag the feet back towards the shoulders. If you're doing well, inhale, come to the top of your head. Widen your hands, make the index fingers parallel, suck the armpits back. Roll to the forehead, push the hands into the floor, come all the way up. And if that sounded like Greek, if your lower back is hurting, if your arms aren't stretching straight, don't go any farther. Gorgeous Yang, gorgeous Kim. On the exhale, when you're ready, walk the feet forward, maybe 2 or 3 inches, lower the hips, lower the arms. And this is a pose we'll work on over time. And just relax. Beautiful. So by a show of thumbs up or down, how are lower backs feeling right now? I see 1 thumb up. Okay, 2 thumbs up. Excellent. So you're going to stretch your legs straight and reach the arms overhead. Big all over body stretch. And then on the exhale, hug just the right knee into the chest, holding on behind the back of the thigh. Thigh and hands press into each other. Breathe. This is the intention behind this one, to clear the lower back, not to get the knee into the chest. Remember, the way we clear the lower back is by keeping left thigh heavy and rooting towards the floor, even as you draw the leg in. That releases the hip flexor. And we switch, right leg straight, draw left leg in. And we realize it really is about intention, yeah? So sometimes we take different perspectives depending on our intentions. Like you think about a little kid who's upset, right? You know, one of our kids, whenever they fall and they hurt themselves, if we get really upset too, then they'll get upset, right? Even more upset than maybe the situation calls for. So I remember with Lexi and Chase, I'd always try to make some kind of joke, try to make them laugh. But I changed the perspective to take it away from the seriousness of the matter. It could have been totally serious. We've had some big boo-boos, but we don't want to go into that panic. It's not going to help us. The worry is not going to help. We have to keep our head on straight, make the right choices as the adult in the situation, not let the panic escalate. Exhale, all over body stretch. So in a point like that, a moment like that, we'd change the perspective, right? Because the intention is we want to get our little ones' minds off of the injury, off of the pain, so we can keep our head on. And then one last time, hug the knees into the chest. Cross right ankle over left, like an upside down crisscross applesauce. Hold on to the tops of your feet. You press feet into hands as you draw the feet towards the hips. Big breath. And then we switch, left ankle over right. And if this makes your knees unhappy, and it might, then you can just keep your feet unhooked, hip distance wide. Yoga needs to be flexible for you, not the other way around. That's my intention. Other people might feel differently. That's the way I feel. Exhale, release, and Shavasana. So relaxing the legs, relaxing the arms. All over body, rest. Feeling the floor beneath you. So we always have that opportunity to weed our inner garden, to release the thoughts, the emotions that are choking out our dreams, that are inhibiting us from tapping in to the universal support, especially this week that's present. It's like adding miracle grow to your dreams this week. Take advantage of it. You don't have to know the how, the why, the timing, if you have the right training yet or the resources to even get there. And maybe your dream, it hasn't even really been invented yet, so it's still like an amoeba. You can't quite grasp at it. Think about the feelings that you want to experience. Stability, confidence, connection. Now, as you release the thoughts that choke out the dreams, as you release them to the earth, imagine a beautiful green light wash over the whole body. Green for healing, for nurturing, love of Mother Earth. Relax soles of the feet, toes, calves, backs of the knees, thighs, hips, belly, chest, neck, shoulders, upper arms, inner elbows, forearms, and palms. Relax the whole head, softening the face, the jaw, the eyes, the ears. And you soften eyes and ears, the senses, your smell, taste, just enough so you can experience, perceive things slightly differently, like a kaleidoscope. One little hand twist creates a whole new picture. Welcoming in a deeper breath. In your mind's eye, see yourself seated on the floor, or resting on the floor, I should say, lying, peaceful, relaxed. And in your time now, wiggle fingertips, toes. And then slowly bending the legs into seated. I thank you so much for playing yoga with me today. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, guys. How are you feeling? Okay. All right. Fantastic. So let me know if you have questions that come up along the way. Like I said, I'm taking this week to dream about how I'm going to piece together the yoga club so that it's even a handier tool for you when you want to go back and look for things in addition to the live classes, and put in a section where you have access to some of the energy exercises and visualizations. Let's say you want to clear your space, you want to protect yourself from bad vibes, you want to, just have a chance to relax deeply. All those little sections in, so you've got those tools at your fingertips, and it's not like scrolling through a bunch of stuff. Okay, but if there's something you want to see, what was that? Oh, maybe
I just unmuted myself. I wanted to ask a question about if you have audio in there or just videos.
Ooh, good question. Right now it's just videos. Yeah, you're my gal that I need to, that's going to be my big summer project, is connecting with you, getting my Lexi to learn from you and find out when is your so Kim, you probably don't know, Yang's business is and you probably speak better to this, but kind of in a nutshell, she's helping us incorporate our kids into our business, and specifically through podcasting. And so we utilize all of this wonderful material we make, and you have your video, and then you can take off the audio, and then your kids edit it, and they get it up and out there in podcast land. And your daughter Yang, who's working on this, is she 11 now?
She's 11. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Connor's
wow.
behind. I could see you turning all of your blogs into podcasts. Yang is an amazing blogger, and she's blogged this incredible journey through the bringing in of her little ones and through your adventure. Do you mind me sharing? Is that okay?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, your adventure with breast cancer and everything that came along the way. And you helped so many women because you were so honest in your story, and there were no holds barred. I mean, you really shared the experience, and you shared what most people hold back, which is so important, because so often we're in the dark, wondering and worrying, like, no one talks about, is this supposed to happen? So it's just beautiful. So there's amazing things, and I know sharing your message just to help so many people. So yeah. So Yang, I will be in touch with that. Yeah, no, I need audio, but I can get that. Thanks.
Well, even as we're going through classes, and just hearing your stories in the classes is so lovely, because there's so much great imagery in it. And most of the time, I think we're not looking at you. We're just listening to you moving our bodies. So I have this wonderful CD as well. I'll have to find it and dig it out for you. But it's a CD someone put together of yoga practices. And it's so great because I can now load it onto my phone and take it with me. But I would much rather have you and your stories and your insights in there, because, yeah, there's just such beautiful imagery on how you align everything from the planets and the stars and the energy work and all of the stories that you share from your yoga teacher that you pass on to us. I just think there's something so magical about being able to hear it. And even if we aren't able to practice the actual class, hearing what's happening and listening to our body inwardly, I think is going to be such a great gift.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. Thank you for that tip. Yay!
Yeah, let's do it. And Kim, if you definitely, I would love to hear more of your story if you're willing to.
Lord.
Yeah. I know. Gotta do tea time with Kim. So
yeah, sure.
I
need to jump off, but I've got to get back to work here.
Yep. All right. Take
Have
it
a good day, ladies. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Yang. I love that idea.
Let's make it happen.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.